Another warning sign, another frontline report. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So yeah, we've got some new data rolling in that's a little concerning. You know, I like to monitor the health and the fitness of the U.S. housing market because I know if we lose it, we're going to lose everything. And we clearly put the real estate market into another, real estate bubble. And anytime the market exhibits bubble behavior, you got to wake up and pay close attention. And as a real estate agent myself, somebody who owns and operates real estate currently, somebody who lost his property in the 2008 downturn, like this has my full and undivided attention, as it should. I mean, like I said, it really bothered me to the point where I turned on this camera and really became a rogue agent, a whistleblower, really, for all intents and purposes, and worked for the biggest brokerage on planet Earth and one of the most expensive places on planet Earth to live. And I was just like, hey, I can't just stand by and act like everything's normal. This is abnormal. The new normal is not normal at all. And the reality is this. The leadership really caused this one through stimulus, making it real estate agents essential workers, dropping those low interest rates. But now the byproduct has been nothing short of a disaster. We are teetering on the razor's edge. We overheated the biggest asset class on planet Earth. Like I said, if we lose it, we will lose everything. We will be thrusted into a deep cycle recession. The real estate housing market's a monster. So most of us like to look back to 2008. And before 2008, they look back to a prior recession. Before that, they look back to a prior recession. And we can chase this thing all the way back to, the Civil War, really, the Revolutionary War. They all had depressionary levels of downturns within those eras. And now this is going to be the crisis era that's going to usher in the next one, because we overheated not only the housing market, every single market we have. And because this has now become because of the crisis, it wasn't just an economic crisis, it was social crisis, it was political crisis, and an economical crisis. So it was like the three-headed monster. It's out of its cage. It's a runaway train that left the station. It's not coming back. This thing has disaster written all over it. For me, I hate to do this because, I focus on the pitfalls, the warning signs, to raise awareness, ring the bell, sound the alarm, let people know the biggest artificially induced housing bubble ever witnessed in human history will have blowback, the dust will settle, and we will pay the piper for doing that. And it's playing out in front of our very eyes. So I've talked about this as we're forward thinkers, critical thinkers, and I was very early to the game. I was very forward thinking. I warned when it was all rainbows and sunshine, you looked like you were off your rocker to say anything but real estate only goes up, or this time is different, the loan strength is better, blah, blah, blah. I just knew there would be a byproduct. The first byproduct, of course, was inflation, which we were told was transitory. The second byproduct was the excess of cash that was printed and dumped into the economy. We overheated it. People didn't want to go to work. They didn't have to go to work. They went remote working, and they didn't want to go back to the office. Well, that's all changed, hasn't it? It is all changed. In fact, what happened is during the crisis, when everybody was sat at home, the white-collar industry, tech, could work remote. But the service sector, the blue-collar wage earner, they were stuck at home. They were on unemployment benefits. Well, now it's flipped. Now that we're open back up, the blue-collar industry is back to work, and the white-collar industry is now losing their jobs. These tech jobs are evaporating. So unfortunately, it's the high-wage earner, the white-collar industry, that buys homes, and the blue-collar industry typically rents homes. In the past, a blue-collar wage earner, a plumber, electrician, a single-income family could buy a house. That's no longer the case. You need to be a dual-income, white-collar wage earner to buy it in this environment. That's a broken economy. That's a broken housing market. And it will fix itself, either organically or unorganically with government intervention. And government intervention, you can't put a Band-Aid on a shotgun blast. You overheated the biggest asset class on planet Earth. So good luck with that one. Whew. Insanity, right? We really have to break this down. Now, my job is to protect you. As a real estate agent, happy customers or repeat customers, I can afford to put people on the sidelines and earn their business later. That's the kind of agent you want. You get these agents out there, they're desperate right now. Sales have dropped off a cliff. Mortgage applications are in the toilet. Everything's going sideways. But the big one I want to talk about today, because like I said, I talked about this early on. Here's what's happening now. Stimulus has left the economy. People have exhausted all their stimulus. In fact, The U.S. savings rate now is at an all-time low. People are paycheck to paycheck. They're bridging the gap now with credit cards. Why, you ask? Of course, I'm going to tell you. Because they got used to living a certain lifestyle during the crisis when all this stimulus was around, right? We had excess cash. Well, we got accustomed to that quality of life. And we don't want to compromise it, so we leaned on our credit cards thinking, oh, when the economy shifts, we'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. That's one mistake I did not make in the 2008 era. I bought a house near the height, and it went upside down on me, but I didn't start to finance my life with credit cards. I just started throwing stuff overboard until eventually the house is always the last thing to go. And I short sold that sucker. It was the best thing I ever did. Shit, I wish I'd done it sooner. And that's a different video. If you're new, get subscribed. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. There's never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people where iron can sharpen iron. We're going to sharpen some iron. I'll tell my short sale story. I stuck it to the banks. I played their game and I won. For all intents, it was a game I do not want to play again. It was horrible, but I was more luck than skill, but I learned an important lesson. I don't regret having gone through it now, but I certainly don't want to go do the same thing over expecting a different result. What's that the definition of? You guessed it. Insanity. So credit card use and debt now, credit card debt is now at a historic high. And guess where it's coming in at? We haven't seen this much credit card debt and delinquency since 2008. You think there's any coincidence there? Of course not. And we're not even in official recession. In 2008, we were already in official recession. We're already matching that before we're even, can you imagine when we get into official recession, if we're already seeing credit card debt and delinquency match 2008 levels now, when it's not even dominating mainstream headlines yet in terms of the economy in recession, the markets are still euphoric. Real estate's still stuck at all-time highs in terms of appreciation, even though many states are reversing course in spectacular fashion. People don't understand the waters we're now swimming in. This is a massive warning sign because if we hit a recession and it gets broadcast all throughout mainstream media, you think it's bad now, you wait till that one hits. Because as soon as unemployment starts to rise, right now it's hitting the white-collar industry like we talked about. But I'm seeing the mom-and-pop brick and mortar stores and restaurants closing up doors every single day. They're getting hit too. This is a slow bleed. Only reason this isn't a flash crash, which it could, in fact, end up being any day now, we could just get to some flash crash, some news event that just shocks these markets beyond repair. But the reason that we haven't seen that so far is because of the amount of stimulus that was poured into the economy. When you pour that much money into the economy, it's not going to just be a flat, it's going to be a slow bleed, a slow bleed, a slow bleed. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing a slow bleed, and some of the proof in the pudding is in fact that credit card debt and delinquency now already is matched 2008 levels. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see not only win in real estate, win in life, understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Credit card debt, delinquency. Welcome to the swimming pool. You've matched 2008 levels. This is a warning sign that most people are clearly unaware of. Congratulations if you're watching today. I want you to be forward thinking, critical thinking. If or when something plays out, I want you to be prepared, not a deer in the headlights, able to operate within it more efficiently. Right now is a good time to buy property if it pencils out. I see properties all over America right now where it's cheaper to own than it is to rent. That's the measuring stick I want you to use. If you need help, you reach out to me. If you're shopping in real estate right now, you reach out to me. If you need to sell a house, you reach out to me, because no one's going to give it to you and give it to you straight the way I do. And that's why I'm going to be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. Appreciate the content. I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.